Good, happy Tuesday morning, September 18, 2018. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, one killed in head-on crash on Route 106 in Belmont. Let's listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
Burst out the door when it matters most. For more than a decade, he's been right there, everywhere. And when American jobs are on the line, he leads the charge. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
The driver of this Jeep was killed tonight in a crash in Belmont. The two vehicles show how violent the collision was before 4 o'clock this afternoon. Police say the minivan crossed the center line on Route 106 into oncoming traffic and hit the Jeep head-on. Police say 2 women in the van were rushed to hospitals, one of them seriously hurt. A Belmont man behind the wheel of the Jeep died from his injuries. His name is not being released as police notify his family.
We have yet to determine the reason. Speed doesn't appear to be a factor.
Police have also ruled out alcohol, reckless operation, and texting and driving. This crash happening just feet from another deadly crash this summer. On July 4th, there was an accident almost in the same spot.
And it was a similar situation where a vehicle crossed in the oncoming lane, and there was 2 fatalities out of that one.
Police continue to investigate the cause, taking time tonight to collect every piece of evidence.
It's tough. There are a lot of emergency responders here that have been to several fatal accidents in town and out of town, so it's never easy to do these. We only have one chance to do it right. That's why we close the road down, and we take a lot of time to do it thoroughly.
Police say the 2 women in the van were wearing their seatbelts, but say that the man in the Jeep was not. Reporting live in Belmont, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Hundreds wait at Columbia Gas Claims Center after explosion, Rock region. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Relax, we're going to do the best we can right now.
Tensions high as families wait for hours, hoping for a little cash to get by, and they still unable to cook or work.
It's going to be very stressful for the next couple of weeks. No showers, no food, no cooking. All the restaurants, no cooking.
Columbia Gas handing out check cards up to $300 to ease the burden. The 2-hour wait, too much for some, although waiting is all anyone can do.
We're still waiting. We don't have the gas so far.
Neighbors glad to see crews reconnecting gas block by block.
Waiting, losing business.
Especially businesses in need of hot water.
They kind of took that spa experience out of it.
No hot water, huh?
No hot water.
We want to get as many people taken care of as quickly as we can.
660 Columbia crews are working to reconnect 4,000 homes shut off as a precaution. Those affected by Thursday's gas leak having to wait even longer, and many more racking up unexpected expenses.
It may take however long it takes. Let's say 6 weeks to 12 weeks. You won't know what the claim is until you're in each one of those houses from a Columbia perspective.
Now, this claim center at 1 Market Street opens at 9 a.m., and while folks wait for Columbia Gas to process their claims, the state is working on creating a foundation to help bridge the gap. Live in Lawrence, Sean Scheibach, WCVB News Center 5.
All right, a lot of you have been asking, how can I help? Head to the WCVB app for resources on donating and information about how to submit a claim.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Convicted Maine murderer on run has escaped before. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
It's time to make your camping dreams come true. At Lee's Family Trailer Sales and Service, all September, our
65-year-old Arnold Nash was serving a 45-year prison sentence for clubbing his neighbor to death in 1991. He was due to be released for good next December after serving 28 years of his sentence, but he walked away from an unsecured unit at the Mountain View Correctional Facility in Charleston on Thursday.
To date, I don't think there's going to be anything about the Mountain View supervision or the staff there that led to this or contributed to this in any way.
Maine Corrections Commissioner Joseph Fitzpatrick facing tough questions today, not only because a convicted murderer escaped from prison under his watch, but also because Nash had escaped in the past. Twice. Nash escaped from a facility in Windham in 1973. In 1981, he and another inmate fled a prison farm in Warren. What became known as the Moody Mountain Manhunt lasted 22 days. One of the men shot a police dog before the pair were recaptured. That's Nash in the vest. Fitzpatrick says overall, Nash had not been problematic to manage. Nash's time was almost up, and the department was beginning to transition him out.
Mr. Nash would have been more of a risk to the community had we kept him in a secure facility up until his last day and then dropped him back in whatever community he was returning to.
In Charleston, north of Bangor, the manhunt entered its fourth full day today.
So to date, we have not had a sighting that I feel could be absolutely confirmed.
At this point, Paul, we really don't know where he is.
Maine Department of Public Safety spokesman Steve McCausland says dozens of law enforcement officials from Maine and New Hampshire are trying to track down Nash. McCausland says each manhunt is unique, but there is a common thread.
The public plays an extremely important role in all of these because they have extra eyes and ears out there. And if they see something that doesn't look right, we want to hear from them.
Public safety officials say Nash should be considered dangerous. They are asking for help. If anybody sees him or sees anything out of place around his or her home, they say the first thing you should do is call for help. Call either the Department of Public Safety or call the Department of Corrections. Live in Augusta, Paul Merrill, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. We're following breaking news. China must retaliate against U.S. tariffs, Commissioner Minister says. China has no choice but to retaliate against the latest round of U.S. tariffs in order to safeguard its rights and interest in a free trade world, the country's commission minister said in a statement on Tuesday. Kavanaugh accuser set to testify at public hearing Monday. The Senate Judiciary Committee is planning to hold a public hearing next Monday and expects to call Judge Brett Kavanaugh and Professor Christine Blasey Ford to testify, according to a senior administration official and several top Republican lawmakers. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit.